My name's Maggie and I'm the Director of Support Solutions for You Limited. I work directly with the families of the young people in supported living and do that from before they move in right the way through, and to a certain extent it's led by the families. I see our role as supporting the families as a whole. I would always advise parents that were considering supported living for their young people to go and either talk to a support group or other parents whose young people are already in supported living, or even to go around and have a look, talk to their transition workers. They're usually very good at knowing what's around, and they could even perhaps set up things for them like they did here to go and visit. I think for young people moving into supported living, if it's their first time moving away from home, it's very important that we start to work with them in their own homes first.
I hear you're doing a show, are you?
Yes, I am.
Also, then we can be advised by them and their parents how that should work and what they all feel is the best way. Because again, it's a very big thing for parents to let their young people go, whether they have a disability or not. So communication is the key from transition stage right the way through.
My name is Felicity and my daughter's name is Ruth, and Ruth lives in supported living.
My name is Ruth. I come down, I took breakfast, sausages, potato cakes. Sometimes I eat with one or for my friends, then serve.
We first started thinking about supported living for Ruth when she was probably about 17 or 18, when she was at college. We had help from our social worker and the Borough Social Services to help us get Ruth into supported living, but they were quite slow to react and to sort of really register how Ruth's needs would, need to be met, in as much as there was such a gap and between coming back from college, from the residential college, to going into supported living, and that was very fraught and not a very nice time really. Ruth was okay in herself, but she didn't really think about it. It was the parents that were taking the brunt of it. So they said to us at residential college that she needed to be we need to be starting looking at supported living more or less at the beginning of the last year, because it just takes so long just to sort it out. Everything takes a long time. It's not, you can't just dump people in. It's not like you moving house. You just have to, it just takes time. Every little detail has to be thought about. Working with the other families was really good because we kind of supported each other, and in fact when the house was set up we knew the other parents that were going to be earmarked for the project, so we'd kind of grown up together in the borough and we'd gone our separate ways but then come back again in the end, and we all brought something slightly different to the mix, as it were. I mean, one of the parents was very good keeping an eye on the legal side of it, and I did a lot of the running around, and one of the other ones was very good at sort of helping sort out the decorating and what things were going to go into the house. Yes, we did support each other a lot, and that did help us through. I think Ruth felt she was excited, a bit nervous I think, but having been away from home for 3 years before and then having come back but then been at home for a few months, I think she'd got settled into a routine at home, so she then had to break that again and then move in here. Not too bad. It would, as I said, it would have been better if she'd have moved straight in. I think they all found it a bit difficult and they needed an awful lot more support to start with, and then that would ease off once everything sort of settled down. But you do need an awful lot of support to start with, and everybody's different, and it's difficult even putting, even though the three people that moved in here originally knew each other, living together is a totally different ball game, and they have different temperaments and different ways of reacting together. So even it was a bit of a gamble, really. It is a gamble anyway, to put several people together who you think might get on together but don't always get on together, and I think you have to be aware of that an awful lot. So we thought, well, let's give it a go, and you don't know until you try, but you have to be prepared for quite a few bumps along the way. Having trust in your support worker and your care staff is really, really important, and being in a position to be able to feel that you can let go and let them get on and just get on with things, and just be there as a mother and not as a care worker. And it's taken us quite a long time to get where we are now, so it's been quite fraught, and there's been, you know, even now there's still little niggles that crop up, but that's just general things that are to do with the running of the house, and but then the house manager's here to sort that out, so that takes a lot of the weight off.
I intend to do like shopping online. Do it on my iPad. I have people who can help me.
So if you're looking for information either about generally for supported living or what there is in your borough, then also the Down Syndrome Association are a very good place to start, either on their website or by contacting them directly.